Downtown LA is Santa Monica, better known for the beach and the boardwalk. It's not an obvious choice for a lawless city, but it's seen a dramatic shift in crime and public safety that seemingly started around 2020.
The situation here in Santa Monica, California is very fluid. There was looting underway nearby.
Santa Monica, there's just so much destruction.
Santa Monica was ground zero for some of the worst destruction in the Los Angeles area during the 2020 riots, all on full display for local and national news outlets. And while the city of Santa Monica ultimately decided against defunding their police, crime and lawlessness has skyrocketed.
A new study says that Santa Monica is one of the most dangerous cities in all of California.
At 224th out of 230 in safest cities in California.
Santa Monica right there on the list in the top 10.
And like Austin, in Santa Monica, a group of concerned citizens decided to push back against the trend of rising crime in a not-so-subtle way.
A large sign has become a conversation starter at Santa Monica's 3rd Street Promenade. It reads, "Santa Monica is not safe."
How bad is the 3rd Street Promenade that you have to take this massive action?
We have employees being attacked to and from their cars every day on the way to work. We have 3 to 5 storefronts smashed per month.
We met with John Alley, the co-founder of the Santa Monica Coalition and the person responsible for the now famous sign that simply says, "Santa Monica is not safe." What prompted you to put that sign up there?
The continued neglect from the city, not dealing with the problem that we have with crime, break-ins, window smashings, open drug use on our promenade, in our parks, and in our back doors every single day.
Stay down! Stay down! Stay down!
Oh no, he got knifed or something.
Man has died after being stabbed at a Santa Monica beach. This happened yesterday afternoon outside the restrooms.
A Santa Monica city councilman was actually attacked right next to John's sign by a homeless individual with multiple recent offenses.
Oh, they give me the disability.
This is Ali's 3rd felony arrest in just 2.5 weeks.
We also met with Jessica, the other co-founder of the Santa Monica Coalition, to get her take on the crime in Santa Monica.
That sign was so well received. It was a project that we thought, we're fed up. Downtown Santa Monica, the organization has failed us miserably. They're not paying attention to any of the business owners. And it's time that we tell them how we truly feel.
The toll on local businesses is shockingly apparent on the 3rd Street Promenade, a once busy shopping district that is now full of vacant storefronts and empty sidewalks.
By our count, about half of the storefronts along the promenade are vacant.
So all of these are empty. How long has it been since the Old Navy went out?
I don't know because I can't keep track. It's like every day one closes. We just found out a few more shops are big ones are closing on the promenade.
With the whole defund the police movement, a lot of their justification for bashing in stores and stealing stuff is along the lines of, well, the insurance will cover it. What has your experience been with businesses and that mentality?
They're not reporting these crimes because that impacts their insurance. They can't report the crimes. Not only do they not report the crimes to the insurance, they most of the time don't report it to the police. First of all, the police don't respond in time. By the time they get there 20 minutes later or so, whoever's stolen something's long gone.
Yeah.
Businesses across the board, restaurants, retail, hotels, have told us their business is down anywhere from 7 to 40%. And that's small business. It's not the type of business that belongs to the Chamber of Commerce. These are small business men and women struggling to make a living. The hotels are finally saying, our business is down. Our reservations for 3 to 5 days have been cut to 1 or 2 days because visitors coming here don't like what they're seeing. They don't like to see a guy shooting up on one side of the promenade and another guy masturbating on the other in front of kids and families.
Judging by the vacancies and supply and demand, the first law of economics, I would imagine rental is not where it used to be.
There's not even a rental rate quoted on any broker brochure.
What do you mean by that?
The asking rates are negotiated. The asking rates have gone so low. Most of the businesses are paying a percentage of their sales. This used to be on par with the best locations, Melrose, Beverly Hills.
In the world,
longer.
not even
in the world.
This district right here, this 3rd Street Promenade, provides 40% of the tax revenue for the city. Guess what's happening? The city's not getting their money.
But again, the city of Santa Monica actually decided against defunding their police department. So how did all of this still happen?
What we're finding in most places is that regardless of the actual finances of defund the police, there seems to be this culture of a lack of police.
Well, what you had is you have a mass exodus of police officers. If you look at the rate of police officers who are retiring, it's at a rate that you've never seen before.
Since 2019, we've never been up to the quota that our police chiefs have told us we need to be at.
The Santa Monica Police Department has repeatedly stated that they are experiencing historic understaffing. In 2022, the department had 221 sworn officers, of which 174 were on the street. That left them 47 officers short of their target. But probably more alarming is the plummeting number of new recruits. The department averaged 16 new sworn officers per year from 2017 to 2019. That number fell to 7 in 2020 and just 5 new sworn officers last year. And once again, there's the issue of enforcement.
Prop 47 says this, Prop 57 says that, our council member says this. We can't do that. So in certain districts of LA, depending on the council member, police officers will enforce more things rather than others. If there is no sense of authority, then we have what we're witnessing every day, which is people are coming in and looting our stores with abandon.
And yet again, the overlap between homelessness and public safety. The recent crime wave in Santa Monica has also coincided with a massive jump in their homeless population and the baggage that comes with it.
When we talked to a bunch of folks in Austin with the Save Austin Now group, they talked about the difference between housing first and treatment first as kind of different pathways to go down and kind of solving the homeless issue. LA City, LA County, and therefore Santa Monica by proxy are really, really heavy into the housing first. Any thoughts on that?
So what I will say is they've been pushing housing first for well over a decade now. And what has happened since they've been pushing housing first? Has our humanitarian crisis improved? Have we built proper housing? You know, our issue isn't that we don't want people to have a place to stay. Actually, we want people to have a place to stay. We're saying give them a safe place to stay, but above and beyond, the people who are dwelling on our streets, the overwhelming majority of them have desperate needs for mental health services and addiction services. And if you don't hold them accountable, anybody who's studied anything there is about recovery and addiction, if there's no accountability there, a human being can't get better. For us to be taking care of them by abandoning them on the streets, letting them live as if they're not even human, is deplorable.
But the homelessness issue has been compounded by another experiment in progressive social policy under the banner of so-called harm reduction.
In this actual park right here, and all of our local parks in our downtown, we have had a free needle distribution program going on since 2019. The public found out in 2022, 3 years later, only because my counterpart was walking one of the parks with a concerned group of mothers, and they saw it happening. And even after it was discovered, the city denied it.
An LA County-run needle exchange called the Harm Reduction Syringe Services Program, one of a handful of open-air drug and needle distribution operations in the state of California. It works with the Venice Family Clinic to distribute some 250 needles every month in Santa Monica.
Sadly, I think it's going to get much worse before it gets better. Have you used any drugs or alcohol?
Yesterday.
Which one did you use?
I used Crystal. I usually get them for nurse.
Okay, I'm gonna call the harm reduction team and have them bring some more stuff over, okay?
Our police chief was furious because until we brought it to the city's attention and to the press, the police chief was not aware of the days and times they were coming. To Reed Park, he just wasn't. He was furious.
During our interview with Jessica on the promenade, we encountered a scene that is unfortunately all too common in Santa Monica.
Sir, are you okay? Sir, do you need help? Okay, but you're okay? You don't need help? Okay.
You simultaneously feel really bad for people, but also look at the situation around it and go, how is this happening?
The biggest issue we're facing is that we've now desensitized people from the truth of what's happening on our streets. We're used to seeing people die on the streets. You have people like this poor gentleman who is sick. People don't even stop. They don't ask. They don't care. And it's not because we're bad people. It's because we've been trained. We've seen so much trauma that we've been trained to just not look at it and keep going and keep moving on.
It's a similar sentiment to what Ralph shared during his interview.
I grew up out here. It's normal for us. You know, we'll see people doing drugs, shooting up like nonstop, and it's like, all right, cool, you know, whatever. I think somebody ODing or someone shitting on the side of a building is normal, but like anywhere else, it's not normal.
I heard sirens. I followed the sirens to Palisades Park, just down the street, across from the hotels and restaurants. There were probably 10 police officers, many paramedics, trying multiple times to revive a person that died from an overdose. That's the third overdose death I personally have seen.
So there's
5 people to that. Back to back.
5 people.
First came out, others 5 people back to back. Downtown?
Okay.
Downtown LA.
Is this Skid Row area or?
They found my baby daddy in his tent. My bestie was in a hotel. My other bestie was at her tent.
The fact that we're losing more lives on the streets every day, it makes us less safe. It's less safe to be in Santa Monica. You're more a victim to predator. You're a victim to drug dealers who are selling you bad stuff. And it's a human tragedy.
It's a tragedy in so many ways. And to make matters worse, the housing first and harm reduction philosophies seem to have created many unintended consequences.
Our philosophy and what we've seen is that the more services you have, the more problems you're going to have.
They're getting the paraphernalia for free. They're giving free places to live. The first thing they will tell you is Santa Monica is so great. Those who live on the streets here, they'll say, Santa Monica is so great because they leave us alone here. If we don't have any cash, we'll just go into the 7-Eleven, take whatever we want. They don't give us a hard time about it, you know, or they come around, the Salvation Army comes around and feeds us, takes care of us.
We spent 40 to 60 million last year, and our homeless population increased 20%. The city says it increased 14. We did our own survey, and we did our own homeless count over 2 nights, and it was much more.
It's a very valid point. California has spent over $20 billion on the homelessness crisis in recent years, but in that time, the homeless population has actually grown. So much so that California now accounts for half of all unsheltered homeless individuals in the entire country.
After a couple days in Los Angeles, there's a couple things that have become more clear. This whole idea of defund the police, I guess on its face, and because defund is its own vocabulary word, we focus a lot on the monetary side, money actually being taken out of the police departments. But that's not always the case, and the whole defund movement appears to be more than just money. And what I mean by that is LA County did take money out of their police department, and they saw the effects of that. But at the same time, cities like Santa Monica, which is LA's next door neighbor, ultimately didn't actually remove funding. But the culture and the underlying tones of the defund movement still existed, and Santa Monica ended up seeing some of the same problems that LA was seeing.